So I just showed the play PA wheel switch out of the gun split slot formation, and now we're going to take a look at the play double ins. And we're also going to get to a couple more plays, so stay tuned for those as well. Now typically I like to run this formation flipped, and the reason I do is because it's much more beneficial with a mobile quarterback, or really with any quarterback, to have it so that when we cancel the play action on the wheel switch and the PAF slide, we can immediately roll out to the right, which is the handedness of our quarterback. If you've got a Michael Vick, then of course you're going to want to run the formation unflipped so you can take off to the left. Now, I love this play double ins because on wheel switch and other plays, we've got routes that are going on a wheel and then upfield. And these routes will cut to the inside. And as you can see right there, it can be really, really nice. It's going to be hard for them to defend because a lot of the times they're defending the flats, the outside of the hash marks. And here we're going to be able to beat them on the inside. I really like the delay route by default on this play. It's the purple. It does a really nice job of sitting down. But as you can see right there, we can also put the opposite guy or the guy that's in a purple on an in route or an out route. Here we're going to take a look at a wheel route. Now we all know that wheel routes can be very, very difficult and finicky when we try to pass the ball to them right away. It's an incompletion a lot of times. But here, with the double ins by X and square, and then the wheel route to the wide side of the field once we roll out, now we're really taking advantage of being able to flood the zones. So let's take a look as R1 goes up the field. Now, if that's man coverage, then great. We're in a position here where we can hit X no problem and pick up a bunch of yards. But if it's a flat that's going to end up coming down and covering X, then we're going to be able to hit R1 down the sideline for a big chunk of yards. Or we have the ability to hit square in behind. That's, of course, going to depend on the user. So we're flooding the zones really, really nicely here. And it's just going to be impossible for them to defend this, especially if we have a mobile quarterback. If they're going to send a spy, now they're going to have two guys defending three, and it's going to be even worse for them. Finally, even though they're playing three deep, as you see right here, depending on the defense, if circle gets in behind that defense, it can be a one-play touchdown because that is a nice, deep double move route. So let's take a look here and see what happens. We just hit square, we break a tackle, and we pick up a good chunk of yards. Now here we put R1 on an out route, and then we've got X on an in route. This is, again, a nice little great route combination, especially with circled in behind X as well. Out route, and then two in routes. And then as we roll out, we see the defense. He's covering circle, but he's running the opposite way. That's going to be an easy play for us. So it's really all about manipulating the zones and the user defender. Here we do it again, and we just read that it's man coverage. Against cover one, this is actually a really nice cover one beating play, because in cover one, people are going to be putting guys on flat routes, which are going to defend the sidelines. And the fact that we've got X and square cutting over the middle away from that is fantastic. And they're going to be doing those flat routes if they're in cover one, because of the fact that we've got the wheel route on the one play and the other routes that kind of just go up the sideline. So it's really about just taking what they give you and staying one step ahead, just like always, right? Doesn't matter what level of football you're playing, you always want to stay a step ahead. Now here we put R1 on a wheel, and this time we motion him out. We can do that and block him, or we can put him on a wheel route, and then we've got triangle on an out route. So we sit in the pocket, and let's see what we make the read. So R1 is going to be difficult, as you see right there. He cuts to the sideline. But now, look at triangle, X, and square. This is going to be really, really easy for us to be able to make the read, assuming that we don't pass lead to the outside to circle, because that's a hard flat over there, and pass leading to the outside to circle can be a big touchdown. So as you see right here, we wait. The obvious read, if it's not to circle, is square. He's using X, and square is becoming wide open. So we make the throw, and we're good to go, and we convert on a very, very big down. Again, R1, X, and circle. I love it. I love that route combination. Let's take a look at what we did here a little bit further. What we did is, instead of having square on his double move route, we put him on a smart routed out route. We put R1 on an out route, and then we streak triangle and motion him out. What that's going to do is, if that defender covering hill, which is square, ends up backing up and he's not in a flat, then square can be a fantastic first read, because he's probably just in a deep blue, and out routes are going to smoke deep blues all day, every day. If the defender over triangle is in a flat route or a yellow, we're still going to be able to complete it to square, because triangle is going to occupy that defender really briefly, allowing us to read square. If for whatever reason that's not the case, again, we've got that same route combination of the out route by R1, X, and circle. I really, really like that route combination, so let's see what happens. Just take a look. He's got to cover the underneath route first. The underneath route, which is X, that's going to be the one that's going to zoom across the field first. He's going to take that majority of the time, and square is that really, really sneaky route that just kills my opponents every time. I remember I was always just waiting for square, and if they let X open, then I'm just going to take it. But square was always that sneaky, sneaky route. Now here they might blitz off the left, so we block, we motion the guy out, we put him on a wheel. Again, we can roll out to the right if we want to. We wait, and look at that. Just, they're protecting against X, and we've got sneaky square in behind. So play number 2 in the gun split slot little mini scheme. You don't need a custom playbook to run any of this. PAF slide is an audible in some of these playbooks. So that's it. I'll be back with the third play really soon. I'll see you guys soon.